What's new? Christian Byers on the trumpet.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on, let's get this thing started, shall we? You know, clapping, it warms the hands up. It's good for your hands. It'll warm you up. Hey, come on. Standing inside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Where the Father waits with open arms, He's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, yeah, come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. When the doors unlocked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Yeah, there's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved to belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Unity of Tampa, hey, come on in.
Good morning, Elliot.
Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, everyone. What happy energy, right? This is great. We just keep dancing and clapping and keeping warm this morning. So welcome, everyone. Welcome any new visitors that we have today. Is there anyone here visiting for the first time today? Okay, anybody for the second or third time this morning visiting us today in this church? Okay, hi. Well, welcome back. We are so glad that you decided to come back and join us again. If you have any questions, we are all very happy to answer anything you might, even if you just want to just say anything, as long as it's appropriate, please. But you can go to the table in the back after service if you didn't check in before. Get your free gift if you haven't already. And again, thank you for coming. And thank you to everybody online who is warm at home, not like us here. But we're not jealous because we have our own energy. So, announcements today. You can get your updated information from the Sunday Bulletin, the email newsletter, Facebook, our website, our new mobile app. There are so many ways to keep in touch. And at this time, if you please could, just check in on social media. Like always, tell everyone how much fun you're having, even if it's cold. And then silence your cell phones, please, because we don't want those going off during service. All right, sleeping mats for the homeless. That is going to be happening today. It's the second Sunday of every month, and it's here in the sanctuary. It's very easy. Even if you can't do arts and crafts, they will teach you how to do it, and they'll provide all the materials for you. You just have to show up. So hopefully you'll be able to join them this afternoon. Coming up, Gasparilla Cleanup. That's going to be on Sunday, January 26th at 8 a.m. So it's cool. You can sign up on eventbrite.com and join the Earth Care team. They had a lot of fun last year, and they all made it to service, I think, afterwards. So you can do both. And going on. A Course in Miracles will also be Sunday, January 26th. It's a new one. Okay, so it's Gilda Suarez teaching an introductory course. So if you're not familiar, this would be a great time to come on and get used to it. She's really great, and you can ask any questions that you might have. So please join them for that. And do we have anybody celebrating any birthdays this week? We all have a birthday. So just this Sunday to next Sunday. You do? Okay, what day is your birthday? Tomorrow? And what is your first name? Jackie? Great. So Elliot, can we please sing happy birthday to Jackie?
Absolutely. Who else, CMR?
Oh, what is her name? Pandora. Okay.
Beautiful.
Great. And
Let's
happy
sing to
birthday
these
her.
January babies, shall we? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you.
Have a great service, everyone.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, Lisa's great, man.
Super old now. I just found out CMR and Peter's granddaughter, Pandora, who I remember when she was born, just is turning 15. Ay, ay, ay. We've either known each other too long or I'm too old. I'm not sure. Good morning. How's everybody? Great. Okay, so, what did you learn last week? What did you learn during the week? Who learned something during the week? Okay, and what are we gaining? Are we gaining some momentum this year on our spiritual self? Okay, I'm hoping today adds to that. I want us to be on a roll and start really growing ourselves to be the community we need to be. And that happens by every individual doing their part. If each of us grows ourselves, then we can grow each other. Now, with that said, I want to say one other thing. It's really important that if you know someone, you say hello, but it's equally important to talk to people here you don't know. Because we have so many new people who come here, and if no one ever speaks to them, they don't actually feel like they're a part of anything. And it's very easy to go missing right out that door. So I'm asking our regulars to be mindful of people you have not met yet and take that time this year. Let's just put ourselves out there and make sure we meet people, okay? All right, good morning, online audience. You can't see it, but I have a new clock above you, and I made sure it was big so I can see the letters, the numbers, no letters. But now I'm going to look up at you more because the clock is big enough that I'll notice. But I just want to welcome everyone online, and thanks to our map. If you don't see yourself on that map or your community, will you please let me know because I'm trying to keep track, and I thought we were building in the mid, and I think David moving to Wisconsin helped us. No offense, David. Good morning, David. But I think we need to fill in. So we're going to reach that mid part of the country. I have several, and thank you, Lisa. How about a hand for Lisa? Lisa's like the sunshine here. She, whether it's cold or not, she brings the sunshine. All right, a couple of things. One, in my gratitude, the first I want to do is a shout out to Gail Gibson and to Candy Norris. They have been helping a congregant who is moving and needs a lot of guidance, packing, help, advice, and they have gone above and beyond the call of duty to help. And I just want to say that's what Unity's about, and thank you. And I see Julie and Mark are not here today, probably because they're exhausted from yesterday. But shout out to Julie and Mark. Julie had an amazing vision board session here with 28 people yesterday. And so a lot of new visions were born. And Julie, everyone has said nothing but good things about it. So thank you for all you do. And I know, Mark, you add a lot of help and value to the process. And Luis, thank you for making it all happen. In case you didn't know, nothing happens here without Luis being involved. So he lives here. If you ever need to see him, just come here anytime, Monday through Sunday. Pardon? Oh, Mary Beth? Okay, happy birthday. Wow, today no less. Thank you. Okay, I think that's all my, this. So some of you were here on New Year's Eve and you got this bookmark I created as a memory of 2024. It's just a little humor and a little fun. If you didn't get one and you weren't here on New Year's Eve, they're in the basket in the back. See Michael or Jeffrey B. And they're free. They're just little bookmarks I made, and I found them very entertaining. I wrote them during the time we had no power for the hurricane. So when you see my gratitude lessons, you'll laugh. Okay, daily affirmation. Let's say our weekly affirmation. Hopefully you say this daily at home. Close your eyes, see if you can say it without looking. There's only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And today's daily word is gratitude, which I love. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best life has to offer. Finding the good in situations, even undesirable ones, and feeling grateful is a spiritual superpower. When I practice gratitude, I am living my faith that blessings of all kind are constantly unfolding and the goodness of God is in all things. Gratitude keeps me positive, helping me to expect the best and not the worst. It opens my heart to the existing blessings and primes me to receive even more. When I live with an attitude of gratitude, I am simply magnetic. I go forth with the expectation I will have what I need when I need it. I will meet the people I need to meet. I will be in the right place at the right time. In prayer, I give grateful thanks and rest assured that my highest and best outcomes are on their way. And from Psalm 136, oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. So gratitude, super important. And it actually will change your mind about your day. All right, I'm going to turn it over to you because down in my soul, I'm feeling something.
Hey, is he here? Yes. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to stand and sing this one. Will you stand and sing it with me? Hit it, Michael. Now, Reverend Nancy says she wants us to grow in 2025. She says she wants us to be better than ever. All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to push you a little bit too this morning, okay? We're going to do something here. Thanks to Janice for a little bit of inspiration here. But I want this side of the room. All right, you guys are singing right along with me. This side of the room, you guys are singing right along with Michael. All right, we're going to do a little call and response game. We're going to see how we can do this. All right, give it a shot. Here we go. I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
So I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Yeah, we all sing that last line together. Here we go. I got a new day.
Got a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I got a new day.
I've got a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I got a new day.
I've got a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Let's bring it home. Hey. I got the power.
I've got the power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power.
I feel the power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power.
Power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Singing the whole wide world is my home. One more time, one more time. Sing the whole wide world is my home. I think you guys are figuring that out. Next week, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to work in the choreography. You guys will be great.
So, interesting thing. 5 of us here are part of a 75-person choir for Martin Luther King Day. And we had our first practice on Tuesday, and I could not believe what was happening in that room. This guy had people singing so loud, so when we were singing just now, he would be saying, all of you light people need to be breathing a little harder.
All right, I like this guy.
Yeah, you would have loved him. You would have loved him. Yeah, it was hysterical. Am I right, Leslie? Cindy? Is Cindy here? Oh, there you are, back there. I'm not used to you sitting back there. And Faye, is she here? Okay, Faye's in there. Yeah, so we showed up. Am I right about how he yelled? And the guy had to sit down after the practice because he was completely out of gas from running back and forth and screaming. It was really great. I left there. I was so motivated. I felt like I should have gone to work. All right, I have the coolest story to share. I don't know where Kathy found this, but it is the most interesting thing. So, the title makes it sound negative. Minnesota summer camp for HIV positive kids closes down. But the owners of a large campground complete with river, lake, boat ramps, docks, and cabins in northern Minnesota have been forced to close after over 30 years of providing a safe haven for children affected by HIV, but not for the reason you may think. Thanks to rock bottom rates of HIV infection in babies, the summer campground is no longer needed. And because of antiretroviral medications, perinatal transmission of HIV occurring when children contract the virus while in the womb or from mother's milk has fallen to below 1% in HIV-positive mothers in the United States. The owners, One Heartland, which was founded in 1993 after Neil Willinson, a college student who wanted to be an actor, read about a 5-year-old HIV-positive child in Milwaukee facing isolation and stigma at school. He created One Heartland as a short project, but ended up running it for the next 30 years. He said, "We wanted to create a safe haven where children affected by the disease, perhaps for the first time in their young lives, could speak openly about it and be in an environment of unconditional love and acceptance." He said, "The fact that there's no longer a need for the camp's original purpose is the greatest story I could ever have imagined." Isn't that just awesome? Yeah. I thought that was just such a great way of seeing it, and it just aligns so well with today's message. But I also want to read this letter from the spring that we received. So the spring was one of the 3 groups we donated to over Christmas. I want to let you all know how they saw our efforts. Dear friend, as the holiday season comes to a close, I want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude for your generous support of our Adopt a Family holiday gift drive. Your kindness has made a profound impact on the lives of the families we serve, bringing warmth, joy, and hope into their homes during this special time of year. It's truly heartwarming to witness the spirit of giving in action. This year, thanks to 71 generous donors like you, we were able to support approximately 110 families ranging in size from 1 to 10 members. Among the many touching moments, one family opened their gifts to discover matching pajamas, a cookie making kit, and even a Santa tray to leave cookies for Santa. The excitement and happiness that filled their home will undoubtedly become a cherished memory. We were also thrilled to see incredible gifts for our teenagers who can be the hardest to shop for. From electronics to stylish, high-quality shoes, your thoughtfulness ensured that everyone, regardless of their age, felt celebrated and special. We are especially grateful for your understanding and flexibility during what has been an exceptionally challenging year. Extra precautions were necessary to keep everyone safe, and we know we weren't able to share as much detail with you as we have in years past. Even so, seeing all the amazing gifts come in and witnessing the joy on our families' faces reminded us of the incredible generosity and compassion within our community. As we step into the new year, we wish you happiness, good health, and the joy of knowing that your kindness has made a lasting difference in the lives of survivors. Thank you for being a part of this heartwarming effort and for standing with us in our mission to support families in need. With heartfelt gratitude, Grace Ramos, Marketing and Events Manager. You know, I especially appreciate when they let us know what it looked like to them. I know we deliver things and we feel good about ourselves, but I always wonder, what does it look like from their eyes? So this is just really beautiful. And let's get ready for meditation.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Oh, surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
So I invite you now to focus on what we just heard or sang. And feel the presence of this place. A place where all of us are safe, where only our authentic selves need to show up, where we can come in happy, sad, or otherwise, troubled or untroubled. Divine light shining brightly or divine light needing a boost. And know that together, our energy will lift each other up. Being part of a community is so important in our lives. Knowing there are people to reach out to and people who can support our dreams. And as you just take a few deep breaths, try to relax your body and your mind, and please let go of anything that you might be thinking about. Holding all of the people online who are joining us in meditation in the same energy. And listen to the words I'm going to share, taking in what is right for you on this day. Today, I focus my attention on the quality of my thoughts and on how those thoughts are reflected by my experiences and my stories. when I think about the experiences I have had and how each of those experiences creates a story in my memory, I realize that those stories are developed by my version of the experience. But they do not always serve me well. Sometimes my stories can hurt me deeply and remind me of the pain that I've experienced. But why keep them if they don't help me? With this in mind, I consciously commit to the process of letting go of all thoughts and all stories that no longer bring me peace. I release the past and I begin anew. By releasing these tired and old perspectives that serve no value in my life, that remind me of what I didn't do and can't do, never did, should have done, should have had, should have seen coming, should have experienced. When I get rid of all of those, and I reflect and share my thoughts and my experiences and stories in ways that help me grow, that help others grow, and help me find a peaceful place in my life. At the same time, I focus more on believing my best is yet to come because I see it, I think it, I hold the highest good to receive it. Seeing, believing, receiving are all what bring the best to my life. Any thought or reflection that prevents me from envisioning and navigating my way forward is no longer valuable to me. And I clear the slate of my consciousness for new and fresh thoughts to occur. Whatever occurred 1 minute ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 months ago, or 5 years ago needs to help me now, not hurt me. And as I have new experiences, I allow those experiences to shape my life and help me grow in ways that can only help me soar and let my divine light shine brightly on my life and on everyone who comes my way. Whether spiritually, mentally, or physically, I consciously choose to allow memories to serve as the reminder of all the good I have done in this world, the contributions I have made, the compassion I have shown, the love I have experienced. My opportunity to grow is endless. And I quiet my mind now to allow the voice of the divine to speak to my heart. Greatest messages come to us in the silence when we least expect them. But our highest good is always possible when we remember that we are co-creators in this lifetime and have to do our part. So as we come back to this moment in time, feeling centered, we are reminded of the peace we experience. Good morning, Logan, Everett, and Mark and Susan. I hope you're enjoying the kids this morning. So every day, each of us engages in conversations with ourselves and with other people. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Throughout those conversations, we share our thoughts, we share our experiences, and we affirm to others and to ourselves what we believe and what we want for our lives. And sometimes we affirm what we want for our lives by affirming what we don't want for our lives. I don't want to do this anymore, but what do we want to do? But it's important to understand the thoughts we have to ponder today. There are two things that we need to really get a handle on because it's still the beginning of a new year. One is, what do we envision for our lives? And the second one is equally important. How will the thoughts we hold help support what we envision for our lives? Now, you may think those two things don't go together, but they absolutely do. You cannot say, I want a healthier relationship this year, and then talk trash the whole time or think badly of all the people you don't like. Because all it does is bring the wrong balance to light. And one of the greatest strengths we have as humans is the ability to be the observer in our lives. We can literally be doing and see ourselves doing all at the same time. It's pretty magical when you think about it. One of Unity's 5 principles says, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and believe. Choose to think, feel, and believe. We only have 5 principles. And this is one of the most important ones. The quality of my life, the quality of my emotions, the quality of my consciousness comes from the quality of my thinking. If I am unhappy, I have to think about how often I'm thinking about my happiness versus talking about my unhappiness. The quality of our thoughts can and will create the best in our life and the worst. So we have to decide which side we're advocating for, the best or the worst. And it's simple. Positive thoughts lead to positive outcomes. Negative thoughts lead to more negative outcomes. It doesn't take much to figure that out. So if we know that, why do we still have negative thoughts? That's the question. Why are we still holding negative thoughts at any time about ourselves or about others? The more limiting our thoughts are, the more potential exists for obstacles and unhappiness. So we have to understand that these two are going together. If I'm struggling and I have limiting thoughts, I'm never going to this, I'm never going to that, then my life will continue its own negative patterns. If I'm sad all the time, where are my thoughts? Are they in digging up what brings me sadness, or are they in digging up what brings me happiness? If I don't like what I see, I have to change it. If I don't like what I feel, I have to change it. If I don't like where I am, I have to change it. Our mind is so powerful and it's such a creative force that it will shape our reality. So that means we have to make conscious choices about how we see the things that are happening to us. And that's where today's topic comes in: spiritual editing. While we know that negative thoughts are going to arise, we can learn to acknowledge when our thoughts do not support our vision or our desires or good feelings within us. And in those moments, we have to replace our thoughts with affirming and useful perspectives. I went over to talk to Margaret this morning. That's exactly what she did for me. She shifted my consciousness about something I was concerned about. That's why I went to her. I needed to give it up, and I needed her to affirm I was on the right track. That's what we need to do. We don't need to wallow in our moments of insanity or unhappiness or anger or disappointment. None of that is ever going to make your day. None of it. It's a choice. Every minute of every day, it is a choice to decide what today will look like, what my life will look like, how I'm going to manage myself and my thinking. So when something comes up, oh, the traffic's so bad, I'm never going to get there on time. Out it goes, and we're going to replace it with whatever time I get there, I want to be safe. We're not going to put ourselves in these places that I always say to Jeffrey makes our head go into our shoulders to the point where we have no neck. I'm always smacking him and telling him, your neck is gone. I go in his office and he's like this. I go, where's your neck? Because I'm trying to remind him, and I get him to remind me when I'm walking like this at the end of the day. He goes, why are you walking like that? I go, I didn't realize I was. It's that physical experience of changing what we're experiencing. Think about all the experiences each of us in this room has had, and the people we've encountered and the challenges we've faced. I could spend a week with all of you and never dump all of it. All the negatives I could come up with if I really wanted to. But if we don't pay attention to the fact that those experiences become our stories, and we become the main character in those stories. So we are either victim, victor, or sometimes the villain. But we don't recall it that way. Most of the time, we're the victim. And when we are the victor, it was at someone else's expense. And we might even boast about it. Well, I put him in his place. Well, I told her exactly how I see it. None of that is good for us. Not for our health, not for our happiness. And as we recall and describe our experiences, we usually share how we emerge stronger or more knowledgeable along the way, or how our lives have been completely derailed by what has happened to us. We can identify right in the moment whether we are empowered or disempowered by how we're speaking and how we describe things. Empowering comments might sound like this. I feel good about how I handled that situation. I'm proud that I was able to step outside my comfort zone on this. It was a difficult time, but honestly, I learned so much. Those are empowering comments. The disempowering comments sound like, I don't handle confrontation well. I've never stood up for myself, and this is not a surprise to me. It was just another disappointment for me. If our words don't help us, why do we use them? If they make us feel bad about ourselves, why do we say them? And while the disempowering statements may actually be accurate descriptions of how we feel at the time, the truth is they are going to become a storyline. And that narrative is going to help us hold negative memories in our psyche about those people, that situation, or ourselves. And we will find ourselves stuck in our circumstances. Example, perfect example. Friday, Jeffrey and I were at the hospital for 8 hours for our daughter's surgery. And, I got there. I knew the surgery was supposed to be a certain time. We were with her. It was delayed a couple hours, but then she didn't come out of recovery when they said she was. And the little app they gave me wasn't notifying me. And for 1.5 minutes or more, maybe 3 at best, I felt this really weird feeling come over me, like paralyzing fear for just those minutes. And all I heard in my head was, what if? What if? What if? And then I thought, literally observing myself, being in that moment, thought, what are you doing to yourself right now? How is this helping you? And I let it go. And I immediately started talking to Jeffrey, and then I changed the subject with the person sitting next to me and just tried to change my outlook and hold nothing but positive thoughts. Another hour went by, and they said that on the screen that she was in recovery. I'm like, I got that. I don't know what the status is. And finally, Jeffrey gets a message, and it says, we'll be notified shortly. Well, shortly seemed like a lifetime. It always does. But in that moment, I started thinking, well, I need more water. I need to take a walk, and I need to let this go. It's all in God's hands. I'm not going to change one thing that's happening right now. Be done with that. Be done. And I was done. And when I saw her, I was my usual humorous, annoying self. I said, well, you look pretty good, but you don't seem to be moving that well. But I just was in that space where I could be done. But the point I'm trying to make is that the humanness never goes away. The moments like that never go away. It's what we do with them that we have to be mindful of. How was I helping her by being afraid? How was I helping me? The conscious way we choose to identify with each of our experiences, both in real time and in our reflections, will eventually become the programmed narrative that we believe and accept as our reality. So I want you to just consider this. If any belief you currently have is not representative of what you want to experience or what you want to remember or how you want to show up in life, then it's time to do some serious spiritual editing. It's critical for us to understand that if we're the victor, victim, or villain, then why wouldn't we choose our character to our advantage? So let's try this for a minute. I want you to think of something you've told yourself for weeks, months, or even years about how you are limited by your circumstances. Anything. Some story you've been carrying around for a really long time and how much you've given energy to it. And I want you to ask yourself, how has this story helped or hurt me? And what can I do so my life looks like what I want it to? How can I change the story? So every time, how's the story helped or hurt you? And what would your life look like if you changed the story? And I want you to ponder that this week as you go through the week. Any thought or comment that causes us to become anxious or paralyzed by our emotions or stuck in our circumstances should not be affirmed. We need to stop doing that. And I understand we have painful memories, I get it, but our emotional attachment to our memories is brutally bad. We just can't let them go. How many friends or family members do you have who continue with that same story? And you say to yourself, they just can't let it go. But aren't you doing the same? Aren't we all doing the same? When someone says, tell me about your life, tell me how many times that story actually really changes. Most of the time, you could bring the recording out and go, well, let me tell you what I've told the last 2 million people who have asked me that. This is my story. But they don't support us. They either make people feel sorry for us, or they make us feel sorry for us. And neither of those things are going to help us get up in the morning. If we don't take the time necessary to process painful memories, our brain experiences them over and over and over again until we finally let it go. But we all know our memories are going to be easily triggered if we haven't let them go. And when they come flooding forward, believe it or not, it takes 36 hours for the stress hormones that came with it to let them go. So every time you have an emotional moment and breakdown, plan on 36 hours. You might as well just hang it up because you're just going to feel bad. And we're self-inflicting. It's all up to us. In her book, Healing Letters, Myrtle Fillmore said this: to be truly healed and quickened by the life more abundant, one must forget the past and the limitations of the past and offer every thought, every ounce of energy to spirit, to be used in bringing God's kingdom of light and love and order and beauty and health into the earth and into the lives of all people. Now, many of you know Myrtle's story. She was a super wise woman. She did a lot of spiritual editing and spent 2 years editing her life in order to get out of a wheelchair and finally walk again. All her life, tuberculosis, all her life an invalid, all her life. She goes to one new thought kind of seminar and she changes how she sees it all. She not only changed her life, but she co-created Unity, and it helped change our lives and all the other people that kind of belief is impacting. She went on to teach and write about how each of us is a co-creator and that we are not marionettes on strings and someone else is pulling the strings. We are co-creators. So how are you co-creating your life? Now, I want to share a funny story I've shared in years past, but I think this story fits spiritual editing pretty darn well. If you've ever watched everybody loves Raymond. There is one of the best editing stories in one of their episodes. Raymond's brother Robert is getting married. They asked the question if anybody sees any reason why these two should not get married. And up jumps the mother. Robert's mother, Marie, stands up and goes on and on and on to the point where the minister sits on the step and lets her go on. The couple comes into the reception like this. You know, worst wedding ever, worst day ever, right? Now, Raymond, who witnessed all of this, has to get up and give the best man toast. And he's trying to figure out, how am I going to do this with all of what's happening? And it didn't help. He had just seen a fight between his own father and the bride's father. So with all this in his memory, he gets up and he begins by telling everyone, my mother has behaved this way our entire life. Okay, that's where he started. He said, speaking her mind, no matter how inappropriate it seems, interfering in our personal lives, embarrassing us in so many ways. And then he said this. He said that he and his brother had learned to edit their memories of their mom throughout their entire life, choosing to remember the good in every situation. He said they could either remember how their mom loved them enough to speak up and protect them in her own way, or they could remember all the painful aspects of her embarrassing them and being their mother. Editing their experiences with their mom, he said, allowed them to have memories of her that brought joy and humor to their lives. Now, I know it sounds like a silly story, but it's the perfect example of what we can do in a moment, how we can change what that looks like. Excuse me. And how we can remember it's a choice. How many things and events have you been to where it didn't go so well? And you went there thinking, oh, it's going to be a glorious day. But it wasn't. And it wasn't until someone spoke to you that you don't like. And then from then on, it was downhill. But we can change that. And that's what this story does. It goes back to how I started today. What do you want to experience this year? How will you ensure that your thoughts support those experiences? And what character will you play in the story? Let's review our lessons. The power of spiritual editing can help us when we first monitor the quality of our thoughts, positive, unlimited thoughts versus self-sabotaging. Number 2, acknowledge the image of our role. Are we the victim, the victor, or the villain? Number 3, identify and release attachments. Don't allow experiences to become anchors. And number 4, find the good in situations and reflections. There's no value in causing ourselves pain. And the affirmation I have for us today is I empower my life through spiritual editing. Let's say that together. I empower my life through spiritual editing. And the quote is by Iyanla Vanzant. And it says, when you stand and share your story in an empowering way, your story will heal you and your story will heal somebody else. Let's take that in for a moment. So we pause now to reflect upon the power we have within to choose the thoughts we hold, to hold the consciousness that helps support us, to see our lives in the way we want it to turn out, not the way it currently is. To change our mind when we start to see ourselves spiraling down that rabbit hole, to recognize that we are powerful human beings created with the greatest divine light of all. And no one but us and that connection to the divine can empower us more. And so it is. Amen. A couple of prayers before I ask you to submit your own. One, Betsy Medina lost her father this week. He made his transition. And I would like you to hold Betsy and her family in prayer if you would. And also, Martin notified us this morning that Vicky broke her wrist. And they are home watching, so we're holding nothing but positive light and energy for your healing. And if you have a prayer need, please put the prayer on the card, stick it in the prayer box. If you're online, call the line or submit it online, and we'll get you on the prayer list. We have plenty of people to support this. All right, if you want to find a way to support our mission and our efforts, there are plenty of ways to do that. Use the Breeze app, use the old-fashioned box. Find a way to contribute time, whatever it is you're motivated to do. But we are a very prosperous spiritual community, and we know whatever we give each other multiplies. So I want you to see whatever you're doing in your life working this way. Every time you pay a bill, think of how you're letting that multiply and help somebody else whose job that is. All right, let's say our giving affirmation, please. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good now flowing forth to meet our every need. And so it is. And so, yes, I realize we're running late, and no, we're not going to cut anything out. And just so you know, the Bucks don't play till 8 p.m. And if you're a Denver fan like me, you can go and see the game online. Because we have a board meeting today. All right, I'm turning it over to you.
Thanks, Nancy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If it's to be, it's up to me. If I seek the truth, let me speak the truth. If I'm lost in doubt, let me believe. I know I can be the change I want to see. If I dream of peace, let me be the peace. When I start from love, I am love. And I know I can be the change I want to see. If it's to be, know it's up to me. You know it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for standing and clapping along. I appreciate it. We'll bring the kids in. Come on in. Feeling good, like I should. Went and took a walk around my neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got the sunshine on my Sunday best. Got the sunshine on my Sunday best.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning, of course.
All right, good morning, everybody. This morning, the teens continued their exploration of the 4 agreements. We finished up talking about the second agreement, particularly... I heard about that last night, so I'm just going to pause and laugh now, okay? Yeah, I heard that there was some second agreement stuff yesterday that you got advised on, Mel. So we finished up talking about the second agreement. We talked about some real world examples and how the second agreement is really the other half of the first agreement. If we're being impeccable with our word, which is the first agreement, recognizing that when people say things to us, it's about them, not us, is the foil to that when somebody says something that's not so pleasant. Mel's going to talk about what's coming up next weekend, and then we'll pass it over to you.
So, next weekend, all the YOUers, which is just me and Fernando, we will be attending the YOU Winter Rally in Georgia at Camp Jekyll. So I'm really excited. It's the first one that I will be leading. So the theme, it's called Soul Unfolding, and basically what that is throughout the week, throughout like the 3 days that we're there, what we're going to be talking about is the process of going through accepting, forgiving, releasing, and having gratitude. So those 4 things will be talked about throughout the process. We're having a little mini burning bowl that I wrote there. So it's going to be really fun, and we'll tell you about it when we get back.
And the reason this actually really deserves applause right now is that Melody is one of our 2 co-regies for the Southeastern region. So she and her other co-regee, Josh, have written all of the spiritual material for the entire retreat. Yeah. All right, so our younger ones today, pretty much all of our elementary and preschool age range, did a little service project. We talked about affirmations and the 5th principle, putting our beliefs into actions. And we made some little affirmation and blessing tags, and we have spread them all over the campus. So if you find one and you're able to untie it, you can take it with you. Or we can have it there for all of us to enjoy and be blessed by. Yeah. So let's bless these kids in turn as well. We love you. We bless you. We truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. We love you, we love you, we really, really love you.
Let's stand and sing the peace song. Let peace be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
All right, feel the energy. Make sure you get a good dose. And then let's say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you for being here. Margaret? Margaret?